All right, let's dive into something called Operation Arctic Dawn. Now, this isn't just another infrastructure proposal. Think of it more as a blueprint for a whole new American economy, one that's been designed from the ground up with a really clear ladder for millions of workers to climb. So let's break down exactly how this whole thing is supposed to work.
I want you to think about something. What if an entry-level job, the kind you could get right after high school, was actually the first step on a clear, structured 40-year path to the very top? Not a dead-end job, but a launch pad. That question right there is the entire idea that Operation Arctic Dawn is built on. It completely reframes what an industrial career can be.
And look, we are not talking about just a few different jobs here. We're looking at over 250 distinct occupations. This isn't just about pulling resources out of the ground. It's a completely self-contained labor ecosystem. It covers everything: industrial, high-tech, defense, logistics, you name it. That massive scope is the first clue that this is way more than just a project. It's a new economic engine.
So how in the world do you organize 250 job types into something that makes sense as a career? Well, you build a ladder. This 5-tier structure you see here, that's our roadmap for this entire explainer. It's the key to understanding how someone can literally start at the bottom and climb, step by step, for their entire 40-year career. Okay, so it all begins at Tier 1, the foundation. This is the ground floor, it's the entry point for so many people, and the very first, absolutely crucial link in a supply chain that's going to stretch all the way from California to Greenland. Now, this is what I find so fascinating, even at the very first tier. Of course, you've got your extraction equipment operators, that makes sense, but look closer. You've also got environmental compliance officers and mine safety officers making sure it's all done right. And you have indigenous and tribal liaison officers, which is a critical role for building community partnerships. This thing is sophisticated from day one. All right, let's climb the ladder to tiers 2 and 3. This is really the engine room of the whole operation. This is where raw stuff gets turned into advanced materials and then gets shipped out across a massive interconnected national network. Tier 2 is all about that high-tech transformation. We're talking about turning raw ore into the literal building blocks of our future. And just look at those job titles: robotics technicians, automation specialists. This is not your grandfather's old smelter. We're talking about a highly automated process where humans are supervising the machines, pushing for incredible volume and quality. So once you've made all these advanced materials, you've got to move them. Tier 3 is the circulatory system of this new economy. And again, just look at how specialized these roles are. This isn't just about driving a truck. You have data wizards as route optimizers, and even super specialized jobs like Arctic transport specialists and cold chain managers to handle that tough Greenland route. Now, Tier 4 is where we build the actual physical backbone for this entire economy. And this isn't just to support the mining operations. No, this is about creating permanent infrastructure, power grids, communication networks, transport corridors that are going to serve the whole country for decades to come. And this slide just perfectly shows that fusion of old and new, right? You've got civil engineers working side by side with drone pilots and data analysts who are mapping the terrain in real time. You've got advanced manufacturing roles like additive manufacturing engineers, literally 3D printing critical parts right on site, working next to experts in next-generation composite materials. It's incredible. So with all these advanced high-tech jobs, you're probably wondering, how does somebody get started? Well, this right here is the core promise. Instead of the old path, taking on a mountain of debt for a 4-year degree, this system offers a direct pathway. A high school diploma gets you in the door. From there, specialized training, which is actually accelerated by AI tools, moves you up that ladder, and you're earning a great wage the entire time. No debt, just skills and a paycheck. Let's make this real. Picture a 19-year-old starting out as an extraction technician in Tier 1. 10 years later, with focused training, they're a robotics supervisor in Tier 2. Give them another 10 years, and now they're a regional logistics manager. By year 30, they're directing entire infrastructure projects. And by the end of their career, they can reach the very top, Tier 5, as a strategic operations planner. That is a clear, tangible path to generational wealth. And at the very top of that ladder, we reach Tier 5, the apex. We're not talking about a factory floor anymore. This is the strategic nerve center at Greenland Peak, the command post overseeing the entire global operation. And, get this, looking toward the future in space.
The jobs here are at the absolute cutting edge of technology and national security. I mean, you have hypersonic threat analysts protecting these vast new corridors from advanced attacks, while satellite systems engineers manage the communications for the entire 50-state network from orbit. The key takeaway is that the whole system, every mine, every factory, every single truck, is designed to support these high-level strategic goals. It all funnels up to this. So what's the big idea driving all of this? It's something called the human escalation philosophy. And the logic is actually really simple. Let robots and AI handle the heavy, dirty, repetitive work here on Earth. That frees up human potential, right? It allows people to constantly escalate up that skill ladder toward more complex, more strategic, and ultimately space-focused operations that manage this huge global network from above.
And this isn't just some vague idea on a PowerPoint slide. It's actually baked into the structure. There are real jobs, like career transition counselors, whose entire purpose is to help guide workers from mastering their Earth-based roles to taking on those in space operations. The system is literally designed to pull people up, not just keep them in one place. Okay, so let's pull the camera back. We've seen the career path for one person, we've seen the philosophy. Now, let's talk about the mind-blowing scale of this entire blueprint. 14 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. 14 million job positions. This isn't some temporary stimulus package. This is a national mobilization of talent on a scale we have not seen in generations. And it's all aimed at building a self-sustaining economy for the next 100 years. And these jobs, these opportunities, they are not just concentrated in a few places. The infrastructure, the logistics centers, the support roles, they're designed to be in all 50 states, plus that strategic command hub in Greenland. This is a truly national project.
So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Operation Arctic Dawn is not just another project. It's engineered to be a self-contained economic ecosystem. It's got its own internal logic for career growth, and it's designed for one main purpose: long-term generational wealth creation. Look, we've just scratched the surface today. We've laid out the what, the jobs, and the ladder. But this is just the beginning. Over the next 8 explainers, we are going to give you the entire blueprint for how 14 million Americans can actually build this new economy together. And in our very next explainer, we're getting super specific. We're going to cover the geography. We will literally show you on a map exactly where these jobs are, organized across 11 distinct command hubs that span the entire United States. So until then, we'll leave you with this question to chew on. What happens to a country, to its people and its potential, when an entire nation has a clear, defined, and achievable path to the top? We'll see you next time.